Hello, Lensmates, and welcome. It's your host, Booklens. For today's explainer, I invite you to find a comfortable spot. Perhaps you're lying down, letting your mind drift, or maybe you're looking for a captivating story to accompany you on a walk, or as you wind down for the night. Settle in, as we're about to unravel a mystery so intricate it challenges the very idea of a hero. We're diving into the 2025 thriller 11, a film praised for its compelling suspense and a twist that left audiences absolutely stunned.
While the first half of the film got some mixed reviews, pretty much everyone, critics, viewers, you name it, they all agreed on one thing. The second half delivered a truly shocking reveal. This review from Reddit really sums it up perfectly. The ending just forces you to completely reevaluate everything you thought you knew.
And this is the question right at the heart of our story today. The film just takes this classic idea and flips it completely on its head. You see, we're led to believe we're following this dedicated, brilliant investigator, but the real story? Oh, it's so much more personal and way more complex. So let's begin the investigation.
Okay, so the film kicks off with a setup that feels, pretty familiar if you're a fan of crime thrillers. We've got a brilliant detective, and he's on the hunt for a mysterious and pretty brutal serial killer. It really sets the stage for what feels like a classic cat-and-mouse game.
It all starts with this really chilling discovery. A body, burned so badly it's beyond recognition, just left on a desolate street. And right away, we know this isn't just a one-off thing. It's the beginning of a disturbing pattern, a series of killings that's about to put the entire city on edge. And this killer, they have a very, very specific signature. As the investigators start connecting the dots, they realize something truly unsettling. Every single victim is a twin. So this isn't some random act of violence. It's targeted. And this one little detail? It becomes the key to unlocking the entire mystery.
So, who's the person tasked with solving this incredibly high-profile case? Well, let me introduce you to Assistant Commissioner of Police, Aravindan. He is your classic super cop, stoic, incredibly sharp, and he's got this reputation for cracking even the toughest cases. He's the hero we're supposed to trust, right? But is he really who he seems to be?
As Aravindan digs deeper and deeper into the case, the whole investigation just pivots. He uncovers this single, haunting link between all of the victims, a connection that pulls him away from the crimes of today and into a really tragic backstory from years and years ago.
And here's the turn. The investigation takes this sharp detour when Aravindan discovers the one thing all the victims have in common. They all went to a place called Twin Birds Matriculation, which was a school exclusively for twins. Suddenly, the mystery isn't just about who is being killed, but why these specific people from this specific place.
And this is where we get to the real heart of the story. We're introduced to two twin brothers, Benjamin and Francis, who were raised at this school. Benjamin was a chess prodigy, and he was fiercely protective of his brother. Francis, on the other hand, was a great student, but was incredibly vulnerable because he had a severe fear of the dark, nyctophobia. They were, each other's entire world.
Then comes the moment that changes everything. A cruel prank. Some classmates decide to exploit Francis's fear of the dark by locking him in a chemistry lab and turning off the lights. The sheer terror of it triggers a fatal epileptic seizure, and he dies, all alone. This single devastating act of schoolyard cruelty, it becomes the motive for everything that's about to happen.
All right, so let's jump back to the present day. Aravindan's investigation seems to be closing in. All the pieces of the puzzle. You got the school, the tragic backstory, the motive of revenge. They all seem to be pointing toward one clear suspect. The tension is just building and building as we head towards a big confrontation.
Now that the motive of revenge is crystal clear, the film asks the big question. So who is the real killer? The most obvious person would be the surviving brother, Benjamin, right? Now an adult, out for revenge. But is it really that simple?
And suddenly, all the evidence starts pointing directly at one person, Aravindan's own partner, Sub-Inspector Manohar. He's spotted at Francis's grave. Then he seemingly kidnaps the final targets. The film really leads us down this path, making us believe that Manohar has been posing as a cop this whole time, while secretly being the vengeful Benjamin.
But just when you think the case is closed,
The film yanks the rug right out from under you. A stunning reversal. The killer isn't who we've been led to believe at all.
And here it is, the twist. The brilliant detective we've been rooting for this whole time, ACP Aravindan. He is the mastermind. He is the grown-up Benjamin who has been orchestrating his entire revenge plot from inside the police force. The hero is the villain.
With that one monumental reveal, our protagonist is completely transformed. Aravindan is no longer a hero, he's a complex anti-hero. I mean, he's the central character, sure, but he's one driven by this deeply personal mission of vengeance, operating way outside the lines of the very law he swore to uphold.
So now that the truth is out, we finally get to see the full scope of Benjamin's intricate and really meticulously planned revenge. This was never just a simple killing spree. It was a long, calculated game.
Remember how Benjamin was a chess prodigy? Well, he approaches his revenge just like a game of chess. He's got multiple plans in motion at all times. Plan A, join the police force to hunt his targets from the inside. Plan B, use his partner, Manohar, as the perfect decoy. And Plan C, his most brilliant move of all, was to intentionally get himself caught to set up his final checkmate.
That number? 11. It's the title of the film for a reason. It represents the total number of victims Benjamin planned to kill. It stood for the 10 twins who were responsible for his brother's death, plus one final, very specific target. And this is exactly where Plan C comes into play. Benjamin's arrest was a deliberate part of his grand plan. It gave him access to the one person he couldn't get to on the outside, his final target, a man named Dhiren, who was already in prison. So by getting himself sent to the same prison, he was able to deliver his own final justice.
With his revenge finally complete, Benjamin takes his own life with some pills, choosing his own fate instead of letting the system decide for him. But in a final, shocking act of control, and maybe a strange kind of atonement, he arranges to have his heart donated to S.I. Manohar, the very man he framed.
And so, the film leaves us with this really heavy question, completely blurring the line between a righteous protector and a cold-blooded killer. It challenges our whole definition of a hero and makes us think about the lengths we might go to for the people we love. What do you think, Lensmates? Was this justice, or was it pure, unadulterated revenge? Thank you for joining me on this deep dive. Until next time.